But what is it teaching you? The boy came to his father and said, you know, such and such swore at me. So the father asked, is he your enemy? He says, no, I know him very well. It is because he knows you very well that he swore you. If he was a stranger, he would have not sworn at you. So now ask yourself, have I perhaps done something so that my friend swore at me? Have I done anything to provoke him? So what do I examine? Not the guy that swore at me, I examine myself. What wrong have I done to deserve being sworn at? Now that is where all of us miss up. And that is why we get into mental turmoils. My father said, I cannot go out tonight. Why did he say that? Because 3-4 days in a row you came home at 2-3 in the morning. And he doesn't like that. He said that for your protection so that you do not get into any trouble. Do you see? But you would sit and mope and say, oh, that stupid bloomin' bee father of mine. He wouldn't give me permission to go out when I had such a lovely date on tonight with a new boy. Forgetting all the 3 boys in the last 3 nights, New boy. Yes, see. That's also a kind of awareness. Because you're seeking for something better. But what is the search for? To have a nice time, to go and do that dance thing, what do you call it? You should know, Sunita. Disco, that's it. Yes, see. Yes. So last night there was this band called Jumping Jacks. And tonight there's another band called Pumping Jacks. So I must go there. You see how we indulge in the limitations of our minds when our minds could really be broadened to greater factors. One could listen. My father said, look, I can't go tonight, okay, because I have been a bit naughty the past 3 nights. So, that would be discipline. And discipline is also a method to bring about awareness. Discipline does not mean inhibitions or repressions. No, it means control over one's thought. Control that comes about not by force, but by understanding, where control becomes automatic. It becomes spontaneous. Yes. So, these are the various steps of nature. Nature is very, very pure. Because nature too is God. And God is nature. But the distortion of it is what causes all the troubles. And what distorts it? Our own actions in life, or past lives, and those impressions that are there. For example, the womanizer, like I was in my younger days. I would like a certain woman more than other women. Why? Because this certain woman was very pleasing to me. Physically, this, that, the other. You know what all happens to young people. So therefore, you get attracted to one more than the other. Yes. You know, I had a friend once, a very handsome guy. poor fellow's passed away, and he married a woman who was very plain and, well, I don't know the meaning of word ugly, because to me everything is beautiful, but in the worldly sense she was ugly. And he married her. So this fellow, being a friend of mine and being such a handsome guy, you know, a handsome man like me always have handsome friends around me. Good. So I asked him, I says, you know, you could have married a much, much more pretty woman that you could go out with and be proud. He was a journalist, by the way, and of course he had to go to various functions and things, and they are invited to bring the partner along. And if you had a very pretty woman with you at your side, it would really look nice. I said, tell me, what's the reason now? So, you know what he says to me? I mean, we're all grown-up people. Okay, fine. You know what he says to me? That she might not be good-looking, and I've been out with so many, many women, but she was the most pleasing woman in bed I found, and therefore I married her. You see how people's minds are just so sensual. So when you develop gradually, I don't say overnight, gradually when you develop the sense of non-attachment, then sensuality disappears. And in its place, love appears. Love blooms, where everyone is accepted as the same to you, because you do not indulge in sensuality. Do you see? So, the 5 senses a person has always tries to rule you. The idea is to rise above the 5 senses, like being in the world and yet not of the world. And you can indulge in all the sensual things, in all your senses, hearing, touching, smelling, doing anything, okay, and yet be non-attached to it. And when you're non-attached, then you know love. And when you really know love, you are aware. So, through all these various stages, and I don't blame anyone at all, because I love everyone. I know the levels of development and the needs and how they would develop, for eventually they must all reach the highest level. But reach it in this lifetime, don't wait for another 2 million lifetimes. Yes. So, you start with these little levels until you reach full awareness, and then you come back and you enjoy all those lower levels more and more and more in its purity and not in its impurity. Yes. So, here we come to the question of discrimination. And when you can discriminate between right and wrong, you have greater awareness. Yes. And everyone, every day, is developing in awareness. They are. You're becoming more and more aware of things. It's like this little story of mine. When the boy was 14 years old, he said, "Oh, my father knows nothing." And when he reached 25, he says, "Oh, my father does know something." Has the father developed or the boy developed? The boy has become more aware. Do you see? And that is what we are, little children. But as we develop through the laws of nature, we become more and more aware of our Father. And that is awareness. And when you merge totally away into the Father and become one with Him, then you are living awareness in this world. You are an enlightened person. Everyone has light. Yes. Everyone has light. You cannot exist without light. Everyone has light. But the trouble is, our lamps are dirty. So the full power of the light cannot shine through into our daily living and our environment. You see? So through our spiritual practices that have been given to you, individually given to you, you are slowly cleaning up the glass. So greater and greater light filters through. And you become a magnet. Everyone loves you. Does anyone here hate me? Huh? No one. And I could tell you 90% of you will give their lives for me because you love me. Because why do you love me? Because I am love. Yeah. These little insects or moths, they're always attracted to light. Always. Until they merge into the light. And that light is nothing else but divinity personified. Or otherwise, divinity is abstract. What do you know about divinity? Without it being personified in some way or the other. And so, the real job of a true guru is to make people open their hearts, to develop love in them, so that they can become more and more aware. And by becoming more and more aware, they start knowing the true nature of themselves. And what is your true nature? Your true nature is divinity itself. That is your true nature. I think that's about an hour, isn't it? Good, thank you. I'm sure you guys must be hungry. Yes, people have need for food, don't they? And funny enough, I never get hungry. Never do. I only eat to sustain the body, to carry it on. Be less stomach orientated, because that stomach causes a lot of problems. Mental and physical. It is for that stomach that people go and rob and steal and murder, and it's for that stomach. In other words, meaning possession. Yes. What a funny, funny, funny world. But it's a lot of fun, isn't it? So enjoy the fun. And yet you can be very funny about fun. Right.